Well, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, has died at the age of 76 following an illness. Franklin is known for hit songs like Respect and Chain of Fools. The singer won 18 Grammys and had 25 gold records. For reaction to this news, we are now joined by our correspondent in Washington, Simon Marks. And Simon, the news coming in just a few days after we've been seeing Aretha Franklin being said to be unwell, and we were seeing many people reacting to that, the fact that she was unwell. I imagine that it still has sent shockwaves across the United States and across the entertainment industry.
Absolutely, Tulis, and I think not just across the United States, but really around the world. Aretha Franklin was such a beloved figure here and internationally. We had, I'm afraid, been waiting for this news because we knew that just a couple of days ago she was admitted to a hospice in Detroit, the city where she spent the vast majority of her life, the city where her career began. She started out as a singer at the New Bethel Baptist Church in Detroit, where her father was a preacher, and her early musical roots were gospel. And indeed, she insisted that she here in the United States in 1967 with Respect, the song that really became her anthem, that anthem about female empowerment that went straight to #1 here in the United States. She followed it up with 111 other singles, 112 singles to her name, 18 Grammy Awards. She was in the American Top 40 all the way through from 1967 until 1998. It was a remarkable musical achievement, but the role that she played here in America went far greater than simply her contribution to the music industry. That anthem single of hers, Respect, really stamped her mark as a transformational figure in American society. Her career blooming just as America was resolving or beginning to resolve its civil rights difficulties, and then of course her career transcending all the years through which the United States has grappled with the aftermath of the civil rights struggle. She was political with a small p, she would have argued. At one point she bailed out America's Communist Party leader Angela Davis when she was arrested at a protest. Not, Aretha Franklin said, because she had communist sympathies, but because Angela Davis was a powerful African-American woman, and she said that the people who bought her music and who fueled Aretha Franklin's success were predominantly black Americans, and she felt that she owed it to the black American community to help out a woman that she characterized as a sister in a degree of difficulty. She was able musically to reduce people to tears, including America's first African-American president, Barack Obama. A performance of Natural Woman at the Kennedy Center here in Washington back in 2015 was accompanied by images of Michelle and Barack Obama dabbing tears away from their eyes. And so I think this is going to be a moment when the entire country comes together and expresses great regret at the passing of Aretha Franklin, but also spends several days paying tribute to her. And one of the questions that we're asking here in Washington is whether Donald Trump is going to join those tributes. Under normal circumstances, the President of the United States joins in paying tribute to Americans who have made substantial contributions to American society. We have not seen this White House do very much of that over the course of the last 18 months. Will he issue some kind of a statement following the passing of Aretha Franklin? Will he perhaps consider attending her funeral or memorial service? Those are open questions here, but I think they're important questions given the particular moment in history that the United States currently finds itself facing.
Yeah, absolutely, Simon. In fact, I see your eye. You keep looking down there, and I imagine you're looking at your Twitter feed, because that's where we go to look for any reaction from Donald Trump. Let's not forget that Aretha Franklin did perform at at, I think, 3 presidential inaugurations, and it wasn't at Trump's inauguration. And also the moment, as you talk about it, in the last few days, while you were talking about the activism of Aretha Franklin, in the last few days we've seen Donald Trump describing Omarosa as a dog.
Yes, absolutely. Omarosa Maginot Newman, the ousted White House advisor, at one point the most visible African-American figure at Donald Trump's side in the White House. And that use of that language by President Trump in a tweet, he's been infuriated by the fact that she recorded secret tapes inside the White House. She's supposed to be releasing another one of them in a couple of hours here in Washington, D.C. That was payback by Donald Trump. Look, I mean, one doesn't want to politicize this too much at this stage as the country reacts to news of the death of Aretha Franklin at the age of 76. But I think there's no question that because of the very point where we are here in history, there will be scrutiny of what, if anything, the Trump White House has to say about Aretha Franklin, and scrutiny of as to whether there's any message from the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, as well. But for the moment, this is all about reaction to news of Aretha Franklin's passing. I see that Susan Rice, the former U.S. National Security Advisor, has tweeted, "God, please hold Aretha close. She was the very best. We will always be grateful to the Queen of Soul for all that she did and all that she gave this world." And I think you're going to be hearing reaction like that from across the spectrum. This is not just going to be the music industry, the entertainment industry, and Aretha Franklin fans paying tribute to this towering figure here. This is going to be people across the board in the United States and around the world, perhaps retelling some of their favorite stories about Aretha Franklin. And certainly one comes to mind, the 1998 Grammys. Luciano Pavarotti was due to perform at the 1998 Grammys singing Puccini's Nessun Dorma from the opera Turandot. And he, 20 minutes before the performance, pulled out, saying that he wasn't feeling well. Aretha Franklin, with 20 minutes notice, said, "I'll give it a go." And she did. And it is one of the most extraordinary, electrifying musical performances of her career, and arguably of any modern musical career here in the United States.
Simon Max, thank you so much for that update. So comprehensive and reflecting on the various aspects of this towering figure of the music scene, that is Aretha Franklin, who has passed away, as we've been reporting in the last few minutes. Well, here's a tribute now by local South African musician, the legendary Vicky Sampson.
I see the clock upon the wall, but it don't bother me at all. These are ever-changing times. All of my life, it comes back to you and me running out of time. I gotta find me a better understanding. Here's to you, Miss Aretha Franklin. Love you.